Well, she's called SeaOrbiter, and since she's also been called the Starship Enterprise of the Oceans, she naturally enough got my attention. Now, over time, hard reality has beat a natural cynicism into me in regard to cool-looking computer graphics being several orders of magnitude easier and cheaper to produce than the actual vehicles that they represent. But in this case, the $50 million funding appears to be in place, and construction will apparently be starting soon on this enchanting vision straight out of the imagination of French architect Jacques Rougerie. Let's bring in Steve Green and Scott Ott to share in the wonder here, guys. Gentlemen, let's listen briefly to a brief description of this SeaOrbiter vehicle, direct from their groovy CGI reel.
At the dawn of the third millennium, SeaOrbiter announces a unique expedition into the oceanic world and a new impetus for the conquest of our blue planet. Its mission: explore the ocean, still widely unknown, in order to better understand its mechanism and educate our societies regarding its critical role for the planet. Thanks to its slow drifting pace and its vast autonomy, it will allow long-term stays for a large family of explorers, continuous day and night observation of the seemingly endless wealth of marine life forms, permanent and easy access to the undersea world, allowing perfect symbiosis with the aquatic universe. All these features make SeaOrbiter the first nomadic international oceanic station wandering amidst the mightiest of gardens, the ocean.
Now, Steve, the sea view from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, this is not a nuclear-powered submersible. It's not a true submarine at all. It essentially just drifts with the Earth's currents. That's probably not a bad idea, since when the French built their latest aircraft carrier, the Charles de Gaulle, the propellers fell off, but I kid the French because I love them. The reason I wanted to do this story, Steve, is that there's something really 21st century about this design, this idea, this mission, and this look that we see right in front of us. Kind of took me back to the days when the future was filled with ideas and vehicles like SeaOrbiter. Do you get that sense, Steve? Do you feel like what we're seeing here is something back from the space age days of, you know, the space age?
Yeah, well, you said it looks like the 21st century, but it doesn't. It looks like what we thought the 21st century was going to look like in the middle of the 20th century.
Bingo.
Before I answered your question, I'm glad you had the video still running while you were asking it, because I actually had to pick my jaw up off of my desk here, and I was just agape at this thing. It makes me think of the science fiction movie or the TV show. You've always got the exposition scene where the new guy comes on board and the captain or the engineer gives him the tour and shows him all the great things that the ship can do, or Han Solo boasting, yeah, I made a lot of special modifications myself, kid. You know, I made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Just that science fiction thing, and the words in that intro, explore, conquest. This is language that Americans haven't been allowed to use in 2 generations at least. And then the last thing it made me think of, and I'm sorry I'm gushing here, but
no, gush.
But I have to. You remember the directions to Neverland: second star to the right and straight on until morning. This is the ocean version of that. And you know what? It's no coincidence that they gave that line to Captain Kirk as the very last line of the very last move of the original Star Trek franchise.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Scott, I guess I'm going to ask you pretty much the same thing, you know? I mean, she's a beautiful design. She's very futuristic and elegant design. Does the sight of scuba divers, you know, actually I almost called them frogmen, give you an idea of how old I am, but divers underwater and the underwater observation decks and platforms and levers and elevators and launches and probes and hatches and portals and all that stuff. Well, that was my idea of the future. It was a clean world of science and exploration, and especially adventure. I think Western civilization has been in desperate need of things like this. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hey, you're talking to a kid who never missed an episode of the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau, who never missed an episode of Sea Hunt with Lloyd Bridges. And so, yeah, this is fascinating stuff. Now,
Johnny Quest.
Of course, we have to throw in a few... I've got some sort of caveats and also some suggestions for improvement. One of the caveats is, or maybe this is a good thing, actually, because of global warming, you will be able to see that vessel from the tops of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Pennsylvania, out over the Harrisburg area, which is kind of right in the middle of the state of Pennsylvania. So you don't have to worry about going far from home to be able to see it. It'll be right there in your own neighborhood. And then the other thing is, you know, sometimes these scientists get a little bit too much into the whole science thing, and they forget about how normal people think. So I want to go out and visit this thing. I want to get there in my Moeller Sky Car. And if you don't know what that is, look up a Moeller Sky Car, M-O-H-L-E-R, Sky Car. I want to get there on my Moeller Sky Car, and when I get there, I want there to be 24-hour-a-day buffet food and Vegas-style entertainment.
Sold. That'll be the American version. And as you say, with global warming, she'll be able to dock right up against the observation deck on the Empire State Building, and Moeller Sky Cars are for weenies, and I'm gonna land in my jetpack, needless to say. But in all seriousness, folks, honestly, I don't know if this platform can do any real science, and I suspect that any data that it does return will pretty much be heavily politicized by the myriad of watermelons that'll be red on the inside, hidden inside, green on the outside, that make up the progressive new scientist community, as opposed to the plain old drab old scientist community, which was interested in learning things rather than changing things. But with all that said, SeaOrbiter represents many of the things that so excited me as a boy and which seem to have been just missing and are so desperately lacking today. It's beautiful. It has a mission. It's got a scientific mission. It's got purpose beyond sunbathing for billionaires and their legions of Russian hookers. It's audacious. It's whimsical. It's cool. And it's fun. And the great disappointment in my life over the last 4 decades or so has been the near utter absence of beautiful, new, scientifically interesting, audacious, whimsical, cool, and fun vehicles and things to do. So here's to the vision of that one man who, whether it pans out or not, set his will to work, raised the money, and will now have a chance to sail the world in a castle built in the skies of his own imagination. Can we have more of this, please? For PJTV, I'm Bill Whittle.